Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I have a special message coming to all of you, and I've got many questions that I want to run past you, and I really want you to think honestly, as always, about your real answers to these questions, because oftentimes what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is oftentimes a lot easier to notice in other people than it is to notice in ourselves. But where the real power comes from, empowerment comes from being able to change our own behaviors, not focusing and identifying on where other people are going wrong and how they should shift and change, but ultimately how we can shift and change to live a more fulfilling and definitely more empowered life. So it really comes down to today the fact that your resilience to pain or your tolerance to pain can often be your greatest Achilles heel. And that's what I'm really wanting to dive into with you guys today, and it's all about change. So I find it really hard to multitask, as you guys who follow me know, so just give me one quick second. Done. All right. So I really want to dive into this, and I want to ask you the question really about how much pain, do you kind of just focus on changing in your life when the pain gets to a certain level? And then what happens, and this is what I'm sort of terming it right now, is being trapped in this cycle of tolerable pain to intolerable pain. And I see so many beautiful individuals who have so much life to live get stuck in this cycle that I had to bring a message about it today. And really what I mean by that cycle is these people who live consistently in kind of not a great situation. They're kind of always in some form of kind of pain, but it kind of gets to this point where it's like they've reached this point where the pain has been stacking and to a point of this is not tolerable anymore, that point of intolerable pain. And when they reach that point, they start kind of shooting all over themselves. They start kind of getting serious about, no, now things need to change. Something needs to shift. And this is the point where they actually start thinking about change. But then what happens for these people who have such a high level of resilience, a high threshold for pain, that it only has to dissipate slightly, like something small gets a little bit better, and then they fall back into their unchanging self until again they reach that new cycle of intolerable pain. So what I'm really focusing on is this cycle that I feel I see so many people getting into, and that's why I'm talking about, it's like a pain cycle, but it's consistent. It's like their life is lived in pain, from the tolerable sort of pain out to intolerable. But because they live so much in pain, their threshold and resilience to pain is so high that it often becomes their Achilles heel, because they never really break out of, they never really have the motivation and inspiration to break free of that cycle, because they can deal and handle so much pain, and their pain has become their norm. And this is what I want all of us to break. But what happens is the only way out is to shift our identity and to raise our standards. But if you totally identify with this state of pain, which is just so consistent, and it's kind of what your standard for yourself is, your standard for life is, it's kind of what you think you deserve in life, then it's really, really hard to ever make a change. And maybe when you get to that intolerable point, you might make some small adjustments, but what you'll find, because you'll be in this cycle for years and years of your life, is that you might make a little shift, but then everything comes back to that. You eventually get back up to that intolerable pain, you make a little adjustment, you get back, a little adjustment back, and you're just edging your resilience to pain up and up and up to the point of numbness and to the point of regret in our lives, because we get to a point where there's no more life left to live, and then we make the realization, wish I had done that. Wish I had made that change. I knew it all along, but I didn't. And so that's why I'm bringing a message to you guys today, in the hope that it is either you who is listening to this message who needs to realize that your pain threshold, although it can serve you in so many different areas of life, it helps you get great results in different areas and push past your limits. In other areas, it's actually being detrimental to you living a rich, fulfilling life because you are handling the pain and you're staying in the pain. And what makes the difference is when you envision something different for yourself. We must have vision. We must believe in possibility rather than stay stuck in the certainty of the pain that we know and that cycle that we know. So the first step is we have to get out of our own way for a moment. We have to, and the best place and the best time to do this for somebody stuck in the intolerable pain to tolerable pain kind of cycle is definitely at that highest peak of pain where you finally are like, no, this is just too much. I need to do something. I need to think differently. And you have that small window. You know, your window might be really, really small before you can reach back down to a little bit, oh, it's not feeling as bad, so I can keep going without making any changes. So you've got to catch yourself in that window of total intolerable pain to be able to go, enough is enough. Use the power and the leverage of that pain to envision something better for yourself. What is a new possibility? Maybe you want to focus on what you don't want, what you will not stand for anymore. Get passionate about it. Use that energy and start thinking about, you know, taking the ceiling off your current life and envisioning something greater for yourself. You know, envision something beautiful. What do you want to do? What do you want to share? What do you want to experience? What do you want to give? What do you want to create? Who do you want to do that with? You know, all of those different things. Dream bigger. Take the roof off the ceiling of your mind, of your limited pain tolerance mind, and dream bigger for yourself. Raise your standards in terms of the lifestyle and the life that you are living. You know, how do you want to be feeling? You know, that's a big one. And, you know, also, you know, you kind of need to reprogram your mind to what's possible for you. So sometimes you might want to do a bit of research as to the people around you who are living a greater lifestyle than you, who are feeling much more fulfilled, empowered, and better in their lives. And they're doing things that you'd love to do. They're doing things that inspire you. And the point here is to get to a point of absolute tear-jerking inspiration. That is when you know you've tapped into something that you'd be willing to do. You know, you'd be willing to push past and jump out of this comfort zone of a cycle that's not so comfortable because it's constantly in pain, but you've just got so used to it, to jump out of that, to make a change, to break free of that. And you can't just envision something greater, because you then have to identify that you can have that. It has to become a part of your new identity. So you have to totally shift what you think and believe is possible for yourself. So the way I would advise you guys to do this is get that vision, get it to a place of tear-jerking inspiration when you're in your most painful state, when you've reached that total pain, intolerable pain point, and you've got that window of opportunity to use that as passion, to get to a place of tear-jerking inspiration in a vision for what is possible, for how you want to be living life, for what you will not stand for anymore. And then from that place, you have to identify, okay, so that's a result I do not currently have in my life. What sort of person, well, who would I need to step more of into more of in order to create that kind of vision? What sort of standards would a person who lives that way that I would love to, what sort of standards does that kind of person hold themselves accountable to? What are the qualities? What are the traits? Because we are all things, you know. You as a human being can tap into the whole spectrum of human traits, emotions, ways of being, mindset. All of it is available to you. You just have to identify which path to go down, which is going to lead you in the direction of that clear vision. And so you have to do this as well. You have to shift your identity. You have to commit to yourself that you are stepping into a higher level of who you really are. And you know, if something you can envision that gets you to that place of tear-jerking inspiration, then ultimately that is your higher self calling to you. Hey, wake up, start living your life for real now. Stop having to wait for this point of pain to try and make some sort of change that never really takes off and really never really gets off the ground, because you're not getting clear on a new way of being. You're not getting clear on who you're committed to stepping more fully into, your higher self, and you're not taking the action in the direction of change to lead you to that fulfilling place in your life. So I am absolutely, as always, hoping that me talking into whatever I'm talking about, and today just so happens to be about that cycle of tolerable pain versus intolerable pain, and ultimately that it is your resilience to pain, your tolerance of pain, that can often be your greatest Achilles heel. I hope that me talking into this and really reminding you guys that you have so much life to live. And if you are in this state of being that it's not really ticking all the boxes, it kind of is just like you just wake up every day and you're just doing the same old thing, and there's this deeper part of you that knows you have more to give, to experience, to do, to share, all of the rest of it, but you're not fully stepping into that, then, I would really challenge you to work out where in your life does this intolerable pain to tolerable pain cycle, where are you living that? And it might be in all areas of your life. And I challenge you to note down the steps of this process that I'm talking about. And definitely, whether you do it now or you remind yourself of this next time it's getting really, really painful, or you do it both times, do it as much as possible till you get into the action that you're capable of, and definitely step into that, write down these steps. You've got to envision it. You've got to raise your standards. You've got to be committed and take action in the direction of that most inspired vision for your life and for yourself, despite what anybody else says, despite who you will or won't lose. You've got to get out of that mentality, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And you don't want to get to the end of it and be filled with regrets. You want to be completely empty because you lived life fully. You gave it your all, you didn't hold back, and it's never too late to make these shifts and changes in our lives. I don't care how old you are, I don't care where you are in the world. If you are focused on the people in your life and how that your changes that will align with your higher self will affect them in some negative way, then you are doing yourself and them a disservice, because anybody that loves you wants you to be your higher self. They want you to be happy, and they can't make you happy unless you're making yourself happy. And so you have to be the leader of your own life, of your own fulfillment. Get clear, take action, raise your standards, and the world will be a much better place because of your input to it, and certainly to the lives of those closest to you. So I want to check in with you guys now and see if you've got any questions or comments or feedback for me. I always love engaging with you. And like I do every single day, just want to check that you are all part of the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. If you're not, you must come on over and join us in that incredible group of over 3,500 incredible people from across the globe who are absolutely inspiring each other. They're contributing to one another. They're encouraging and challenging each other, and they're sharing their journey with all of us in there. So if that interests you, then please click on the link above this video, request to join, and I will definitely approve you into that community, and cannot wait to go deeper with you. And let me check in with you guys, see who's been able to join me. I've got Elliot and Tegan and Judy and Sam. Awesome to see you guys as always. And Melissa and Peter and Carlos and Vicky and Sam. I'm pain driven. All of us are driven by pain and pleasure. But oftentimes what I'm really diving into today is all of you incredible human beings out there who have such a high level of pain tolerance that serves you in a lot of areas, but it's actually detrimental. I want you to focus and be honest with yourself about how your pain tolerance is actually being detrimental to your growth and your fulfillment in your life, because it keeps you in this cycle of tolerable pain to intolerable pain, and it's become your norm. And we want you to break free of that, because life is not meant to be lived in pain, no matter what scale it is. Life is meant to be fulfilling and rich and vibrant. And yeah, you're going to experience pain, but you don't live there. And there's a big difference about that. So hoping that this message is helpful with you, for you with that, Sam. Thank you so much for sharing. Always appreciate that. And Annika's here, and Suzanne, and Lucy, and Courtney, awesome. And Maddie, awesome to see you. And yes, a good woman will always help the situation, I think. And Sunil, and Ray, and John, and Brian, and Moises, and Sergio, and Art. Oh, yeah. People need to let go of the past. Tell your story and get the elephant off your back. Look forward, not at your feet. Keep your head up, because that's life, and opportunities out there you won't see looking at your feet. Absolutely, Art. Yeah, definitely, you know. I think that we absolutely need to have vision. We need to have clarity. We definitely need to feel grounded and present in the moment, so that we can fully experience the life that we have, that's always in the current moment. But we definitely need that vision. And definitely, I completely agree with you. We need to let go of anything that limits us from our past, in terms of limiting our identity, limiting us in terms of what we feel is possible for ourselves. Absolutely. The only 2 times to ever go back in your past are to go and reminisce about the beautiful memories and experiences that you've had with loved ones. And the only second time to go back is when you're going to go back and learn a lesson that you can utilize in your present and your future. That's it. Let go of everything else. I love that, Art. Thanks for sharing. And Mike, and thank you, Moises, for your compliment there. And Mandy's here, and Sam. I use pain to manifest what I'm creating. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we need to know what we will no longer stand for. What we don't want is often a lot easier to identify than what we do. So sometimes we need to start at that place. And I'm a big believer, use pain as a motivator. Use pain as leverage to get you out of a bad situation and into a greater one that you know is possible for yourself. Absolutely. I love that, Sam, and Mo's here, and Alina, and Lisa, and Tristan, and Nuna, and Tony, and Jelma, and Stephen, and Ed, and Justin, and Maggie. Awesome to see you guys, and Bradley, and Gary, awesome. And Philippe, magnificent form of explaining. Your message is extraordinary, Vanessa. Oh, thank you. It's awesome to watch your daily messages. Love you, beautiful. Thank you, and so much love for you, Philippe. I so appreciate those kind compliments. I'm super grateful that you find enough value in these messages to come back each and every day. I so appreciate that. That absolutely lights me up and touches my heart. All of you incredible people who I get to connect with each and every day. So thank you so much. That's really making my day. Thank you, Philippe. And Vivian, I'm loving that you're finding some great knowledge here. That's awesome. And Marco and Sam, appreciate you and your devotion. And same to you there, Sam. Thank you so much. And Paul's here, and Jarek from England. I love it. And Jared's here. And don't forget to like my page, Vanessa. Oh, yes. I remember you mentioning that. Can you... Oh, I'll look it up. Awesome, you've put it there. Cool. Hope it's all going really well. And Jeremy's here. Awesome. And Moises, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Moises. And Lisa is here. Awesome, guys. So really hoping that me going off on this topic today is inspiring to you. It's going to make you think honestly about your relationship with the tolerable pain to intolerable pain cycle that so many of us get so limited on because we become unconscious to it. It becomes our norm. You know, the experience of pain on the daily basis becomes such a norm that we don't break free of it until we get to that point, some point in our lives where it's just either so much intolerable pain that we make an idea of, you know, we start thinking that we might make a shift and a change, but then it only has to drop down that slight amount for us to stop all change because we have such a resilience to pain. And that is a danger zone, absolute danger. That is when your resilience to pain is completely letting you down. So you must make the opportunity of that small window that you have to get into action. Take the steps that I've explained to you guys today. Get clear, get passionate, get that vision that is tear-jerking, get attached to it. take the action in the moment. Get clear on, how you're going to raise your standards, not only in terms of your lifestyle, but also in your identity as to who you expect yourself to step more into. That is super important, because we will always align our lives and our lifestyles to our identity of who we are, who we believe ourselves to be, and what we believe we deserve. So you've got to make the shifts on those couple of levels as well. And I've got Lisa and Adrian and Michael. Catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message, because I'm just about to sign off, but I so appreciate all of you guys joining just now. I am, as always, sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's beautiful and amazing and extraordinary and all the rest of it. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. But before I sign off, I want to make sure that if you believe that there is anything that I could be doing more of, that would be adding more value to you, if there's any sort of topics that you love to hear about or get a new perspective on, if there's any questions or challenges that are going on in your life right now, that you'd like to share, that you'd like for me to have a chat into, that, if it's going on for you, if it's a challenge for you, then guaranteed it's going to help and support other people as well. So I'd love to hear from you if that's happening for you, and deliver a message like this to help. And thank you, Marco. I'm grateful that you found value here. And so guys, let me know if you guys are shooting me messages on Messenger. I've just discovered that I have been missing a bunch of you who aren't my friends going into this filtered messages. So I really apologize for all of you guys who might have written to me so long ago and I didn't even realize. But the best way to contact me is probably, if you're not friends with me, to drop a comment here, or definitely maybe on my business page, my Vanessa Jane Patrick Live, Love, Give page. That is best to really make sure that your message is getting to me. And that's it from me today, guys. I'm sending you all of my love, and I will see you all tomorrow.